Hi, my name is Franka-Maria, and this is my new podcast called The Three Lemons. The Three Lemons is about creatives who take things that are normally plain and boring and make them into exciting, beautiful things that people can enjoy. Hi, welcome to the Three Lemons podcast, and today I have another very interesting guest, a young lady called Anita Kittoe. Anita used to be a banker and is now the creative director of a very well-known luxury brand called Oye. So Anita, you're welcome.
Thank you, Franka.
Thank you for coming to our little podcasts. Tell me a bit about yourself. Like, where did you grow up?
Okay. I've lived in Ghana for almost my whole life. I was born in Ghana. My father comes from Anomabo, and my mother comes from Kukrentumi. So it's a mixture of Fanti and Achim. I went to school, primary school, St. Teresa's School, North Kanishi. I went to secondary school in Holy Child. Did my university, University of Ghana.
Okay.
I did masters at GIMPA.
Okay.
So I have an MBA finance.
What did you study at the University of Ghana? What's your first
I
degree?
did. I studied geography and sociology.
Wow.
That's what I did because it was the easiest that I could do for me. I thought geography was so easy, so I majored in geography. Yes, so I grew up with 4 older brothers. I'm the youngest. And yes,
You're the only girl?
Only girl as well.
You and me both. That's interesting. Yeah. So what was your childhood like? Like, what were you like as a child? Were you too known because you were the last one and only girl?
Well, a little bit of too known and very, very strong. The boys made me strong. And surprisingly, although I was the youngest, when we had to share anything at home, I would share anything. So the boys made me very tough. I remember I was I was a tomboy, I didn't even know how to wear skirts, or I felt very uncomfortable in skirts. So I was very tomboyish, very rough, very strong, very determined. Yes, that's how I was as a child.
Wow. So, like, you went to Holy Child School, and I think Holy Child girls are known to be very, quietish. And so how did that tomboyish character, how was it? I mean, I know this is, but a question leads to a question. So how was it for you?
It was, I think Holy Child also helped me, in those days, secondary school education was all around. You're even taught how to walk, how to behave, how to, all of a sudden you are with ladies or girls your age you don't know from anywhere, and you have to relate with them. So it was very good and very complete, I should say. And for the quiet aspect, I think naturally, although I'm very tough, I'm a very quiet person. I don't talk too much. So yes.
Right. So did you, like, now that you look at the path you've gone on, was there anything in your childhood that, now that you think about it, did you like art? Were you creative? Did you like bags? I mean, for somebody who used to be a tomboy now, there must have been something. Do you see any connection in your childhood and what you're doing now?
Yes. Now, looking back, I remember I used to like bags, or I still like bags. I like bags a lot. When I see the first thing I look at when I see you is your bag. I mean, I can enter a room and I'll just be looking at bags. So I used to like bags, and I still do love bags. And then also fabrics. I like fabrics a lot, different types of fabrics. And, even the smell of leather, it's something I used to like a lot, and I still do. So I think some of these things also affected my path. I think so, yes.
I think it's amazing how, as children, you're drawn to certain things, and of course at the time you don't understand why. And then you get older, and then you realize that this thing that I used to do, or this thing that I used to love, this is actually
Yes.
what it was.
Yes.
And not everybody is also blessed to find that. Because you could have gone down a totally different path.
Yes.
How did you get into banking?
So, well, my dad was a banker. My dad is a retired banker. And when I finished school, it was I just knew I would enter into banking. So I started banking right after my national service. I started with First Atlantic Bank. I was in First Atlantic Bank. I did private banking for some number of years. I did corporate banking. Okay. Very stressful life. Okay. You have to wake up at dawn, especially if you live outside, far from the city center. You have to travel all the way to work and then go back home very late because of your schedule. So I did First Atlantic for a while, then I moved to another bank. And it was at that point that I left banking. So I did banking for 12 years.
Did you leave because you wanted to embark on this creative journey?
So during the time I was in banking, I used to like traveling. I still love traveling. And anytime I would travel, I will make clothing, simple clothes and simple bags with African prints, with fabrics, local fabrics. And I'll send these things there. And family and friends will buy it. So in the US, mostly. Family and friends will buy it. Sometimes they don't even buy it. They have to ship some back, But that is how it started. So when I've sold those items, then I buy corporate wear, shoes and very nice things, and I bring it and I sell those here. Yes, that was what I was doing. That was what I was doing. I'll do the local stuff, send it there. When I sell those, buy the European stuff, come and sell those here. So I did that for a while. And now when friends come home or when they come to Ghana, they were asking for the products. I realized there was the demand. So I started doing it on the side. So I did it on the side for a while. Then eventually I just branched into it full time.
Is it a decision that was easy to make? Because the thing about having a 9 to 5 is that there's a sense of security. You know that at the end of the month, the thing is in the account. So did you have some fear when you were making that leap?
It was a crazy decision. I didn't even tell family. I couldn't tell my dad that I was leaving banking. He just felt I was on leave and then realized this leave is long.
Your dad is Fanti.
Yes, he's Fanti.
Fantis were very...
I know, I read it on there somewhere.
We're very 9 to 5-ish.
Yes. So I couldn't tell...
safe jobs.
Yes, no risk. I couldn't tell him. But at a point, it became necessary because I felt this thing had the potential to grow. And if you need something to grow, you have to focus and dedicate time. And then also there was this general sense of fulfillment. I would, after work, I would go to Makola and be buying fabrics but I enjoyed it. I would be on the sun doing stuff for Oye and I would enjoy it. So I was like, instead of sitting in an air-conditioned office to process loans and manage accounts for customers, I find greater fulfillment in this thing. And I also realized that when, I work with different artisans or craftspeople. So when I engage them and then I have to pay them, I see I'm fulfilled. I feel like I've impacted their lives.
What you're doing is trickling down.
Exactly. Yeah. I felt like I was doing something to benefit someone. And that's what I think keeps me going. Like these people look up to me to bring them jobs. Because if I don't take the jobs, they'll sit in their shops and just be there. They'll just be there not doing anything. So I felt the impact of what I was doing. I saw their lives improved over time. So that encouraged me. And although it was a crazy step, I believed I would be fine.
That's a good step. That's a good step. Look at you
Yeah.
now. How did your dad take it when you finally told him?
He wasn't happy. He wasn't, but it was a decision. I was old enough to make my own decisions. And maybe one of these days I will ask him what he thinks.
What he thinks now.
Yes,
I
will
like
ask
the
him.
answer to that.
Yeah.
Please let me know. But I think that sometimes we have to also make decisions for ourselves. Like, you know yourself, you know what brings you joy, you know what fulfills you.
Yeah.
And I think the world has changed. You know, those
Yes.
days where, the word creative didn't even exist.
Yes.
It's not like that anymore. So
Yeah.
I think people have to the best of their ability, follow their passion and do what really brings them joy. And I like what you said about how what you do impacts other people. Because I always think of Oye as you're doing everything. But based on what you're saying, it means that it's in parts. Like
Yes. I collaborate with a lot of people. It's not one man show. I collaborate with a
How
lot
do you
of
find that? Because I think that's
artisans.
also something I hear a lot. People complain a lot about, like the difficulty in, when it's a process that has to be split amongst various people. Because you might be ready, and then this person's already. How has that been?
It's challenging, working with people, but it takes a lot of patience. Although you have to be firm, my people, they know. If it's wrong, I will tell you. If it's right, I'll tell you, So, but it takes a lot of patience. And I mean, God has a way of putting good people together. You put you people together. If the person doesn't fit, they would go, So I think I've also been lucky to meet some good people, And even if the seemingly bad people, it looks like they're bad, I learned some lessons from them and then I move on. So it's a process.
Yes.
You don't get there in a day. We
In a day.
travel. It's a journey. So.
How long have you had Oye as a brand?
Oye is 8 years now.
8 as in 8?
Yes, 8.
You are a baby.
I know.
But you are a big baby.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you've done a lot. Like, you built a brand that it might take somebody a longer time to gain that level of recognition. So, like, even though 8 years is not a lot, you've done a lot in the 8 years.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it's a very well established, recognized brand. It's associated with quality. I'm not running an ad. I'm telling the truth. It's associated with quality. It's creative. I mean, basically,
Thank you.
how do you come up with ideas for a bag? Like this bag, how do you decide that this is how you want it to be? This is the shape.
So I believe for most of the times, what we've done over the years is to combine tradition, things that are local, traditional, with contemporary. So we try to do a mixture of old and new. So that's the main thing behind most of our designs, most of our products. We try to combine old things and new things, and then we create our products like that. And that has been our inspiration over the years. This is what has
Kept you
helped
going,
us.
yeah.
Yes. So
Do you find that combination is also what makes your product attractive to people outside Ghana?
yes.
Because they are able to still take it to work
Yes.
and get a lot of interest because the fabrics are unique.
Yes.
But then the shape of the bag is recognizable.
Yes.
It's not, some weird looking bag that people are like, like last Sunday I saw somebody at church. I don't know what they were doing there, but they had something that looked like a deer, a baby deer. I think they just took the deer and made a bag out of it. It was so bizarre. I think some chief had died. So yeah, I mean, you don't want to be walking around New York with something like that on your bag,
That would be
on your back.
scary.
Sorry. So I that's one of the things I find about your products, that you can recognize a shape, but it's unique.
Yeah.
It's African, and it's everything you want a bag to be. Where do you see Oye going? Like, what's the plan for the future? What's your vision?
So our vision, like I said, I find fulfillment in helping the artisans and the people I work with. So in the future, we hope to create some sort of a training school or a training center where we can engage unemployed youth. Because, where we are, unemployment is a serious problem in our side of town. And I believe the only way this problem can be solved is if more these businesses that they call small businesses, I think we are the solution to unemployment. So if you're able to take on, like you take on 200 people, I take on 200 people, then we are solving the problem of unemployment. So I see myself in the nearest future, I want to have some sort of a training hub or training school, and then even a facility for young or upcoming artisans where they can come and use certain tools or even have the space to operate. You know, you have been able to do this concept store idea where you bring other artists or creatives together. You know, that is a platform that is helping other people, and that should be or that is our focus, to help others. So a training center and even a space where artists or creatives or tailors or whatever can come and find machinery or even space to operate. Because in Accra, even renting a place is a problem, you know. So just that is our focus in
I think it's a lovely idea. I think it's a very credible idea. And I think that's the way we're going to move as a nation. If we all start thinking collectively as opposed to just me in my corner doing my thing. You know. What advice would you give somebody who wanted to go into, you know, a business, not necessarily what you're doing, but something in production? What would you say to somebody, a young person who had an interest?
Very often, I think our main obstacle is fear. You know, so I just want to, whoever wants to start something, I just want to encourage them. Just step out there and overcome your fear. Just do it. Just be bold and try it, start it. You know, because we pray a lot in this country, but we don't act. If you act, that's what God will use to bless you. So do something and God will look at what you're doing and bless you. Yeah.
From her mouth to your ears. Thank you so much, Anita.
Thank you, Franka.
For a good conversation and advice that me myself I'll be taking. Thank you.
Thank you so much.